The president has already stated that the draft is back on the table, that the draft never left. It's still there, so that there is a possibility that there's going to be a draft. Now, it sounds crazy because nobody likes drafts. Anyone in the military doesn't like drafts. And people that are already serving hate drafts because the people that usually come in are usually the people you really don't want with you when you're in a situation. I've said this many times because they don't want to be there to begin with and they're drafted. So, and then it requires a lot of fingers on the pulse, to keep them from going sideways on you and making sure that they follow the rules. That's always the hard part about people who get drafted. So, anyway, it just sucks. But the retention's not so great when a war breaks out. Sometimes if they don't agree with the war that's going on, a lot of folks will leave. And then to get people to join it, sometimes it's a lot harder to get people to just sign up for something if there's a war going on. So that's always one of the things. It's either give or take. You never know what you're going to get. And then for those of you that just didn't know any of that crazy drama, but the thing is, the retention was already bad. Like the past 4 years earlier was really bad, and they were getting to the point of wanting to initiate a draft even though there wasn't a war, just to get people in the service because it was getting so bad, because people were not staying in their MOSs. They were leaving and checking out because they just didn't want to be there. They didn't want to serve under that administration, so they left. So there was a lot of that going on, and then there was an uptick. The past year, there was a huge uptick of folks joining because they were, oh yeah, it's going to be good. And so they were all jumping in and thinking, there wasn't going to be any wars because we were under the non-war type thing. So we were not going to do any wars now. And, there's not going to be any high gas prices or any of that. So everybody's like, hey, it's like, so everyone's happy. And now it's the opposite of that. So getting people to stay is very difficult when you're in these circumstances. So just to give you guys a heads up, and there is video of it. So for those of you that want to surf the internet and find out if I'm telling the truth, you can do your own research. But I don't make this stuff up. I know just as much as you sometimes, but a lot of the times I hear something that's a little bit wacky, so I have to share with the rest of you. So for those of you that aren't watching all this, I did it for you, and now I'm sharing. And that being said, so you may want to share this video with a few folks and let folks know that there is a possibility of a draft that's already being discussed, that they may have to start bringing folks in. So anyways, God bless, take care, and stay sane.
Kalalau Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rahak, Wadash, and double honors to the elders of Master Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel Barak. Today's lesson, a draft shall come. Now here we have a military.com article that says, could there be a military draft? DT administration says it's on the table, so it's not ruled out. Further reading says, as the United States continues to strike Iran, roughly 10 days since ordered by President DT, questions about how long the war may last have been coupled with the prospect of a military draft that administration officials admit remains on the table. So it shall come. 6 U.S. soldiers have been killed in the war that DT has continually defended, on the backdrop of what he and other senior officials have attributed to an imminent threat posed by Iran towards the U.S., Israel, and other Middle East nations. The potential length of this conflict has drawn many assumptions, as DT has floated a 4 to 5 weeks duration, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has been more clandestine in presenting any particular time frame due to not giving away U.S. military strategies. Now, when we told you in past videos that a military draft was also coming to the United States, many did not believe. But make no mistake, a military conscription draft is headed to the United States, and even more so when World War III is declared. The scripture of 2 Esdras 16:33 through 34 has also spoken of that military draft that's to come. Let's go over to that scripture in the apocryphal books. Here we have 2 Esdras 16:33. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right, there shall be many casualties of war, and many soldiers shall perish in that Iranian war with the U.S. and the Israeli state. But when it comes to those soldiers that partake in that destructive nuclear third world war to come, none shall return. The virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right, because the women shall lose their men to the war. When we told you that a mandatory draft shall come, many did not believe, and it shall be mandatory. And now there are talks of a military draft upon American soil. And according to a lot of sources, the Iranians are winning the war. It shall get so bad for the small hats that the scriptures have said that the least of the flock shall draw them out. The small hats shall draw out the Americans to that destructive war of Armageddon, Hebrew word Armageddon. They shall draw out the Americans to their demise. This is prophecy. 2 Esdras 16:34. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, and their husbands shall perish of famine. Right now, we are currently witnessing that Iranian war taking place, but make no mistake, as soon as that deceitful CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16 is fully implemented upon society, that third world war cometh quickly. And when it comes to the people of the nations, they are angry because they are being taken out of their comfort zone. They are extremely angry, the people. The people are still angry at the small hats for coming up against Gaza. Let me show you a video of that hatred.
And now that Tehran sent a message back, they're screaming for help like a child who lit the fire and got burned by the flame. Oh, now it's a tragedy. Now you remember what a hospital is. You bombed over 200 hospitals in Gaza. You hit a children's hospital in Iran. You blew up ambulances, dialysis centers, maternity wards. And now you want sympathy? Let me say this loud so the world hears. You didn't just bomb buildings. You didn't just kill civilians. You targeted the ones who were trying to save them. You murdered medics, unarmed, brave, rushing to save a life. And you killed them in cold blood. Then you buried them in their vehicles, like criminals hiding a murder weapon. You didn't just kill people, you erased the proof. You buried mercy under the rubble, and now you ask for compassion. Here's the part that burns deeper. The world has been watching a live stream genocide for 2 years, on every screen, in every language, from every angle. And now, after 2 years of watching you bomb children with American missiles, you expect the people to feel something for you. You got some nerve. You want tears. Tell that to the mothers digging their babies out with bare hands. Tell that to cancer patients gasping for oxygen as the hospital walls collapsed around them. You want sympathy. You had 2 years of global silence, and that still wasn't enough for your bloodlust. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked. The world was hoodwinked into believing you were victims while you turned cities into cemeteries. You don't get to cry now. Not after you made mourning a crime in Gaza. You don't get to scream now. Not after you silenced every voice that dared to say enough. You bombed hope. You buried mercy. You murdered truth. And now you want the people's pity. We don't mourn for war criminals. We don't cry for colonizers. We cry for the silence, for the crushed, for the medics you left in the dirt. But something's changed. The world sees you now. The veil is off. The lie is dead.
The words of that short video were powerful, and you can feel that anger. In the war shall their bridegrooms be destroyed, right, especially in that third world war of utter destruction. On the day of that greater destructive war, no soldier will come home, and many women shall mourn over their deceased husbands. And the word conscription, as defined by the Britannica Dictionary Online, means the practice of ordering people by law to serve in the armed forces. Right, that draft. The time will come when the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua of hosts, hosts meaning armies, shall muster the host of the battle in that final showdown of World War III. But make no mistake, an inevitable third world war shall come as soon as the CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16 takes place. As soon as that CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16 is fully implemented upon society, upon the world, then that inevitable war to end all wars comes quickly. It cometh quickly. Husbands shall perish of famine, and shall make women widows. Many women on that day will be looking for men. They shall wish that their men were still there. But it's just as the scripture has said, the virgins shall mourn, having no bridegrooms. The women shall mourn, having no husbands. Their daughters shall mourn, having no helpers. Right, because they shall perish in the war. Once they pass the CHIP of Revelation 11 and 14, then that third world war cometh quickly. But here we have that scripture of Revelation 11 and 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Meaning that the second world war of destruction has passed, but the third world war of destruction cometh quickly. As soon as they implement the CHIP of Revelation 13 and 16, that war cometh quickly. As soon as that CHIP is fully implemented upon society, then that destructive and inevitable World War III follows quickly. The Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua has given Esau Edom the knowledge and technology of the sword, and has created the modern day smith in order to bring about the many weapons of his indignation, right, of his righteous anger. The Lord shall control those arrows of mass destruction upon flight. The Spirit of the Lord shall be guiding them to their strategic targets, and none shall miss. And I've said it upon many videos, Iran should not be underestimated, because we know what the scriptures have said. The scriptures of the Lord are the absolute truth. And you're seeing everything playing out just as the scriptures have said. Those arrows of mass destruction shall take out modern day Babylon the Great, and they shall also cleanse the land that the small hats now inhabit. Modern day Babylon the Great shall never rebuild, but the land that the small hats now inhabit shall certainly rebuild to welcome in the true people of the Lord. According to Isaiah 14, 1 and 2. But an inevitable third world war of utter destruction is coming to modern day Babylon the Great, which is America. And when that war is declared, expect a mandatory draft to also take place for men as well as women. Women wanted equal rights. Now they're going to have to fight as men in the most terrible war to come. With that being said, Kal Allah Malak Yahweh, Wa Yahushai, Bahashem, Rahak Wadash, and double honors to the elders of GMS Ruel. Blessings unto those men, and blessings and salutations to the Akim out there in truth, pushing his word in all sincerity and in honesty. With that being said, Shalom Israel, Barakatah. Shalom.